Hello, how are you? Wait, hold on one second. I like to have this certain tab up just so I can take notes. Okay. Is it our
Okay, I
side
think
or
I'm
his?
unmuted. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hey, what's going on?
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Chris,
Chris, where are you at?
the Detroit area.
Oh, Detroit. Okay. It's not too far from I'm from Chicago, so it's not too far.
Oh, righteous, yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
only been there once. I was a drummer growing up, so I had some auditions down there.
Okay. So, do you think Christian women are wife material?
Ooh, wow, that's really tense. One of the things I appreciate about you is you always lean into the marketplace and you ask the tough questions. And you're honestly one of my heroes in the marketplace. You're definitely a fearless inquisitor. So thanks for all you do. Um, wow. Okay, so from my lens and with my background,
Mm,
um, it's interesting to take a look at this question from the angle of somebody who has a lot to lose. Um, I've actually been railroaded by the Veterans Administration for the past 12 years. So I had a six-figure business, ended up falling down because I made some agreements, it fell through, and now I have to basically start my business over. As a matter of fact, in this room right now, sorry about the background, I'm actually setting up for a digital studio in my home. So
mhm.
apologize for the mess here. Um, but as I go to build my business, one of the bigger concerns that I've had growing up as a Christian was noticing a trend, and this is going to be stereotyped. I understand there are exceptions to
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So I'm acknowledging that upfront.
This is an we know there's exceptions. We're talking about the rule.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So generally my experience, whether it's a narrow lens or broad, is that there seems to be, I don't want to broad stereotype it as entitlement, but my experience, my exposure has been that there's always an interest in finding out what can the guy bring to the table? Like
Mm,
what can you get? What's in it for her? So Christian women sitting around talking about somebody who just got engaged, talking about, ooh, he's a doctor. Oh, he's an attorney. Oh, you're young, but he's going to law school kind of
mhm.
situation. And it's really a struggle for me because I admire some of the conversations that have been had online, and I imagine they're not staged in some of the podcasts I've witnessed. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube, but what I have seen, um, a group of women coming onto a podcast and being asked, "What do you bring to the table?" And it's crickets. So, where is this lens coming from? Well, I've been engaged once. I went on deployment. She cheated while I was on a combat area, so that didn't work out. I was getting ready to ask someone else to marry me, but she had professional aspirations and she wanted to go somewhere else. So I wished her the best. I wanted her to be successful, so that didn't work out so much. Um, I'm currently not dating on a voluntary basis. I also probably don't fit the typical stereotype of a man. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm not voluntarily going out and screwing anything that's available,
Mhm.
including the tree or fire hydrant down the street. It's just not who I am. I'm probably the exception. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. It's just characterizing the lens that I'm seeing this from.
Mm.
I've wanted to be a father at an early age. I wanted to be a worthy husband and father and grow up and take care of myself to such a degree that I would be able to provide for somebody. Due to the nature of the world and how it is right now, I'm putting my personal relationship ambitions on hold to build up my financial prowess.
Mhm.
But to steer this back into the topic, I find it a struggle because if I have a lot to lose, I'm hesitant to go into the market in this day and age with the dynamic the way it is right now because of the lens that I'm looking at this through. Whereas if somebody's going to look at me as a possible husband, I'm concerned that they're looking at my pocketbook, they're looking at my ATM, they're looking at what's in it for them, whether it's intimacy related, financial related, household related, if it's clout related. I've known to end up in circles that are highly influential. Very rapidly, I would find myself speaking with people that are centers of influence. And I'm grateful for that privilege to be able to network with some great people that have those networks. But whatever somebody is chasing in a spouse that they're looking for, one of my concerns is they're not looking for love. They're not looking for somebody that's a suitable person for them. And that's my, individualized lens. I acknowledge it. That being said, I'm very concerned about, going to another location in the United States. I prefer to live in the United States. And wherever I go to try and date, I'm concerned that it's going to be less about whether we're a fit and more about what they're going to get from me.
Mhm.
And I'm very, very hesitant to go into the market and actually seriously date at the moment. I still want to, I still want to try. And I'm 100% interested in becoming a husband someday. But I want to be very careful, and I'm not sure how to navigate the waters right now.
Mhm.
I don't know if somebody's actually going to be on the hunt for something that I can provide them or something that's going to be a mutual fit. Am I good for her and is she good for me? Does that make sense?
No, I'm really glad you said that because I find more men in your position where they actually want to be married. They're not really, because they always have this idea that if men aren't married, they're sleeping around, they're going and doing all of this stuff. But I find men in your situation to be more common than the men that are just trying to run through a bunch of women. I find men want relationships. It's just how do you do that? So I'm curious, do you notice a difference in the quality between Christian women and non-Christian women? There's no right or wrong answers. It's just based on your experience.
Right, right. So here's my experience, and I want to qualify this.
Okay.
Women that are loyal and practicing Christians,
Mhm.
I see there being a higher quality.
Okay.
People or women who are religious, people who are, I don't want to call it fanatical, but they do what they say they're going to do, right? They keep their word. So if they say they're religious, if they say they're practicing, then they're actually practicing. They're not visiting once a week just because it's a check in the box.
Mm.
They're not doing things in the public eye, and then once nobody's seeing them behind closed doors, their character changes. And I think that's a really good test of character is what are you doing when nobody's looking?
Mm.
When nobody's watching you or holding you accountable, are you holding yourself accountable? Maybe this is a military person inside of me. Maybe this is a musician or somebody who's toured the nation as a drummer or something. I don't know what it is in me, but the idea of extreme ownership is something that I take to heart. And I admire that quality in the women that I have dated
Mm.
because there's no question that they're acknowledging what's going on with them. They are on a path of personal development by choice. They're not doing it to try and uh, what's the phrase? Trap a man.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They're more interested in doing what is right because it's what they feel is right. It's what they're
Mm.
interested in viewing as right. And they're more interested in how they view themselves and how other people view them. Now,
Mm.
everybody is self-conscious to some degree. There are still moments where you're concerned, like, what are the neighbors going to think? Or, hey, you're causing a scene at a restaurant when you're having a misunderstanding or something. I don't know what the different context would be. Outside of those, because those are exceptions, I admire the Christian women that I've been around, I should say, of some of the Christian women that I've dated. I think there is a higher caliber of women out there
Mhm.
who are devoted, uh, overtly, I guess is a word for it. They're willing to go out of their way to do the right thing in the right way for the right reasons
Mhm.
because what is good is intrinsically good regardless of opinion or circumstance.
What
And
percent
so,
what percent of Christian women do you think that is? Just in your
oh
again,
my gosh.
no right or wrong answer. It's just based on, I don't know what Detroit women are like, so I don't I haven't spent a lot of time there, so you tell me.
Ugh. um, this is going to be a tough answer, but my guess is going to be a third,
A
probably
third.
33%.
That's more than I would
And
give.
I say that wholeheartedly because I've met some who have actually invited me on dates. Like I've actually been approached and
Yeah.
been invited out, and I
Yeah, they got to.
appreciate that. I'm honored and humbled.
There's not many men left. I mean, the women are they can be aggressive in church.
Well,
You get a handsome guy that walks in, they're all like, yeah.
so even with that,
Yeah.
I've still been invited on things that I've had to say no to because they don't fit my standards. I don't go out to bars. I don't drink. I don't participate in that venue. I've had to when I was a kid because that's where a lot of the musicians would be that I wanted to participate and work with. So as a profession, that
Mm.
was something that I did, and I made an exception for that. But now that I'm older and I value my standards more because it's more important to me as an individual, I don't frequent those atmospheres anymore. So to that extent, I would have to say a third,
Third.
just because of the nature of the offers I've been on. So when I date, the third date thereabouts, I give the woman the opportunity to plan the date because I want to see what her creativity is going to be, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of the times when I get there, I end up breaking off the relationship,
Mm.
if you want to call it a relationship at the point. I don't know what you
Yeah.
call that, say, whatever. But by the third date, their idea is so far gone in violating what I'm interested in having around me that I'm just like, we're not a good fit. You're a great person. I wish you the best. No hard feelings. It's just, it's not for me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling in to share your experience. I'm glad you did because I find more men like you than what they paint. Most men want relationships, they want family, they want marriage. It's just, there's not one, there's not enough marriageable women, and two, they're worried about being a target. So, thank you very
I'm
much.
fearless. I'm not a. I don't care about being a target. I'm just going to do the right thing in the right way for the right reasons.
All right.
It's an honor to speak with you, and I just wanted to give a quick moment. Shout out to you. Thanks for all you do. Keep doing great things. And I don't get starstruck easily. It's just not who I am. But I feel like I'm speaking up to somebody that I never thought I'd get the chance to speak to, and I've always wanted to. So thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right. See, now this is what I'm saying. Everyone said, guys, how do you think men find the red pill? I am not the red pill. I'd like to say it's not me. It's not Pearl. It's blog forums from before I was even when I was a baby, when I was a child. It's men talking in the barber shops. It's bigger than me. There's no leader, it's just men talking. They find it generally through a woman. A woman breaks their heart. A woman divorces them and they go looking for answers, okay? It's not me. Okay. Um we could do maybe how many are watching on Twitter?
We got 6,300 on X.
6,000. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
X is giving us
X
love.
is giving us love.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do maybe one or two more. One or two more.
All right. I'm gonna bring out the next one. Can you unmute your mic?
So I'm getting kind of hungry. Hello, how are you?
Pearly, big fan. It's good to meet you. You're beautiful. You're more beautiful than I thought.
Oh, thank you. What's your name?
Chatron, that's how it's pronounced.
Okay, so where are you at?
I'm in Charleston,
Charleston,
South
okay.
Carolina.
South Carolina. So, are the Christian women in South Carolina wife material?
With a resounding 100% no. And in fact, it's even worse where I live at. I'm just out here working right now. I live in Spokane, Washington. It's worse out there because they're extreme liberals. They don't even believe in God. Most of these people are godless, faithless, baseless people. Um, what I've discovered, particularly in the past like 6 years, is the only reason why they turn to God is like you brought out in your opening diatribe, was that something goes terribly wrong in their lives and they want some type of spiritual comforting, some type of support, some type of consolation prize. Um, I'll give you an example. I had a chick, and I don't want to put her name out there just for the sake of not humiliating her.
Don't feel free to not. It's all right. No names needed.
But she was like 11 years older than me, right?
Mhm.
And I was working two jobs at the time. I was working two jobs. I was working really hard. I was making good money on my main job, and I was getting I had direct deposit with that. On my second job, I had an actual paper
Mm.
paycheck stub. So she takes it upon herself one day to go through my wallet and sees the paycheck stub for my second job, not knowing that it was my second job. And she started criticizing me about how much I make and wondering where I get all this extra money from, seeing how that job doesn't pay me enough to make his,
Mm.
to have the money that I'd be spending. At any rate, uh, she was one of those church girls. She had breast cancer and she turned to God because she didn't want to die alone or go to hell when she died. She had got sick and she had been through some things. At any rate, She didn't know I make really good money doing the job that I actually had. And she had the nerve to bring the scriptural text to my attention, said, I'm not being unevenly yoked with this type of guy, blah, 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 all that. One, that's a scriptural verse, biblical scripture, biblical verse pertaining to spirituality.
Mm.
And the fact that she used
She
it
used
in a
it for
way.
money. I'm gonna write that down. Equally yoked.
Right. My point exactly. And then she said she's not settling. And I hit her with a Kevin Samuels line long before Kevin actually said it to her. So, said this to another chick. I said to her, you weren't settling for me. You were being rescued. At the time, I was like 29, 30. I was about 30. She was about 40.
Mm.
And I said, yo, I'm in tip-top shape. I'm 6'2", 210 pounds, 1% body fat. I'm in tip-top absolute shape. No kids, make good money, blah, blah, blah. I ran down my resume. I'm like, wait a minute. You're a breast cancer survivor. You're a gastric bypass weight loss recipient. You're covered in litter with cheek backyard tattoos, and you're 40. You're past the age of geriatric pregnancy. You weren't settling for me under any circumstance. You were being rescued.
Mm.
But the whole pretense was she used this, I'm a Christian, as a way of talking trash and trying to talk down at somebody.
Mm.
And what I've discovered is I've been reading the Bible and getting scriptural and biblical and things like that recently, And what I've discovered is there's certain texts and scriptures that outright expose these Christian people. And I'll give you one of them right now. Out of the mouth, it says, don't worry about washing your hands before you eat. What you eat passes through your body and goes into the sewer. But what comes out of your mouth comes from the abundance of your heart. The type of heart you have, the type of things that you think, the type of things that you have in your heart. And when you look at these church people, when you look at these, what's the word I'm looking for here? These so-called religious zealots, as I like to call them, they're always talking bad about someone. They're always talking down about someone. They're always, everything out their mouth other than what they say about themselves is something bad.
Mm.
And when you hear somebody only say something bad, you have to look at them as, hey, maybe they're a bad person.
Mm. So, what percent of church women do you think are wife material?
Again, I just, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. You're fine.
Again, I like to just say maybe about 0%.
Okay.
Zero, none of them.
Okay.
They're not there because of their spiritual convictions.
Yeah.
They're not going to churches because they have a spiritual conviction. They're there to try to gain something. And you brought this out earlier. They're there to try to trick God into giving them a man.
Mm.
They're there to try to trick God into giving them a man.
Mm-hmm.
They're there trying to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, they're godless and they're faithless. They're baseless. They don't actually believe in God.
Mm.
They're there trying to deceive a man into believing that they are something that a man will let his guard down for so they can steal from him. That's what they're there to do. And hey, Pearl, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the Ace Metaphor show? The type of people that's in his crowd are the same women that are in those churches. Look at an Ace Metaphor
crowd. Let me look. I don't know who that is.
What's the name of his show?
Ace Metaphor? I don't actually know who that is.
There's a guy named Ace Metaphor who Obsidian's always laughing about.
Crowd. Oh, I think I've seen this. Oh, I see. You can put it on the
tonight's discussion or tonight's conversation or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
All of those chicks are the same chicks that you'll see at a TD Jakes or a Creflo Dollar crowd.
Oh, I see. No, totally. Well, thank you very much. What?
I just want to commend you for what you do.
Mm.
And I'm really looking like crap right now because I just got off work and stepped into my air. Anyway, I want to commend you about what you've done and what you're doing. And I was talking to Obsidian on his show not long ago, and I complimented you I saw your Piers Morgan interview. Keep up the good work, young lady. You're doing very, very well. You're gonna have what you want. You're
Well,
a wife.
well,
You're gonna have what you want. Keep up the good work.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Um, okay, so hold on. How many do we have any people back there?
Oh yeah,
A lot.
we have 6 so far.
Oh wow. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to um all right. Put up. So okay, now we have two men. Not me saying this. Ladies. This isn't Pearl saying this. They both, one was a guy, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, seems to be involved in church. I don't know about the other guy, but but both of them have not had positive experiences with Christian women. Stop blaming me, Christian ladies. Like I did this. If you guys are so good, why isn't your reputation better? Why isn't it better? But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just crazy. Oh, Pearl. I don't know. Maybe I'll get another guy that says it's 90%. Who knows? Okay, let maybe one or two more callers. Guys, also hit the like button. What can they push it out on YouTube? We have 800 likes, I think, on on YouTube. Can we get to 1,000?
And on X as well, let's get the likes up.
Do they like it on X? I don't understand X.
Yeah, we got like 56 likes and there's 6,000.
They have 56 likes
56
and
likes.
6,000?
6,600 people in here.
I am protesting. Yes, X, protesting. protesting.
Let's get some retweets as well.
Yeah, give me some retweets. Retweet, like, whatever, Did I do this to the women's reputation? Okay. Because again, when I do these shows, there's no right or wrong answer. You could tell me 1,000,000,000% if you guys want. I don't know where you guys are from. I'm saying this is my experience. Tell me yours. Okay, it's called AI bots. I don't know. Okay, let's take the next caller.
You up?
Hello.
Hello, Pearl. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
So, in your experience, are Christian women wife material? Wait. First, I want to know where you're from before I go. Sorry. Where are you from?
I'm from Alabama, but I was actually born in Gary, Indiana. So I'm
Okay.
actually next to you in Chicago.
Oh, nice. And what do you do?
I'm actually a president of a defense company.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, tell me, are Christian women sorry, I have more questions that I think of that I should ask first. What religion are you?
Christian.
Christian, okay. So are Christian women wife material?
True Christian women? Yes.
Oh,
These Christian feminists? No. They're not marriage material. And too many of them, basically, when they have all the failures that they have all the hot girl summers, they have all the crazy stuff that they do, they have the multiple the failed marriages, or they will sit there and have the multiple engagements that never happened. Then all of a sudden they run back to church.
wait, the engagements, did they lie about engagements?
Look, the engagements of, well, I was with him for so far. He asked me, but I turned him down. That type of dumb stuff.
Oh, wow.
And as a man that mentors other men in business, I tend to listen to like these young men, and they're asking me for like my advice because I've actually been married for 28 years. I got 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls, and they're like, well, what did you do to make it work? And then I basically explained to them how like we were able to make it work, but I do feel for my sons, like out there because it's crazy.
If your son is like looking at the women in church, how old's your son?
My youngest son is 23.
23. So is he
Mhm.
married, single?
He's single. He actually he just graduated from the University of Alabama, and he's about to go into like the law program now.
Oh,
He actually started his first day is like with a law firm like today.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so in your experience, like for him, what percent of women, if he goes to your church under like that are his age, would you say are marriage material? Like that you would say are good enough for your son?
I would say probably no more than about 30 to 33%. The rest of them are just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Even like with the men that I mentor that are 35 and 40 years old, or like a few that like, you know, younger, they're like 28 years old. I mean, it's a mess. It's a hot mess.
Yeah, and I can see you don't say this like you're not looking for this. Like it's like almost with a heavy heart when you say it. Like you're not. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like you're happy about it, you know?
No, it's literally one of those things of seeing it go down the drain the way that it's going down the drain that it is, and then to sit here and have people that will quote unquote take no accountability for their actions in no way, shape, form, or fashion, and then basically make these particular demands. It's like you haven't earned that, and because you haven't earned that, why are you trying to make these particular demands? It's crazy.
So what and I guess in your church, what do you think contributed to this?
To me, the feminist movement caused a lot of problems.
Mm.
The sexual revolution caused a lot of problems. Anytime now, I mean, like in the church, I mean, it isn't uncommon now to see dumb stuff in the church where you see pastors doing dumb stuff. You see they have these um, assistant pastors who are just like they're about to go to the club, and this is a female pastor. Like they have female pastors in
Mm.
there now, or you have a particular group of you know female ministers that have been divorced two, three times, and they're trying to guide people. It's like, no, you should be sitting. You should sit down. You should sit down.
Front
You
row,
definitely should
ma'am.
sit down. It's no, it's crazy. And then like, I mean, people want to get upset whenever you mention stuff like this, but it's obvious. Anytime that you don't have fathers, you don't have your brothers, you don't have your uncles guiding you, you won't take any advice from a man, but yet you want to go, quote unquote, get your advice from your friend as a hoe. Come on. I mean, what are you expecting your results to be?
Yeah. Yeah, and then they'll say like their friends told them to. It's like, well, why didn't you go to your dad, Becky? Like it's like
Right.
you chose the worst friend to get advice from.
Right. And then how come, one of the things that I basically mentioned, and sometimes I get people that basically get upset about it, and I'll sit down and mention, okay, look, I'm African American. Black women are the last to get married, and they're the first one to get divorced. And also they have the most single parent homes. Now, there's a reason for that. And you have to basically take it for what the situation is and say either you're going to make the necessary corrections or not. If you're not going to make the corrections, then you cannot complain.
Mm,
But yet they do.
yeah. Well, thank you for your contributions tonight. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. And keep up the good work. And look, I understand that they're going to come at you no matter what, but just keep on doing like what you're doing.
Thank you. All right. So this is a married man of 30 years. And do you see that? You see that? You could hear the like hurt in his voice. Like, when I say, okay, what percent of Christian women are wife material? So women, why are we, if you're special and different, why are you offended?